schedule Monday. This is it. Philadelphia at Anaheim. Darren Erstad's first game back. He's been DL'd since April 20th. Hammy. Jeff Devannon filled in very nicely. How nicely? Check out the numbers. 362 batting average, 8 home run, 20 RBI, 629 slugging percentage, 400 on-base percentage, batting .438 in his last 8 games. Erstad was busy from the get-go. First batter, Jimmy Rollins, flies out to center. Next batter, Cito Polanco. Erstad put out. Top 2, Bobby Abreu to Erstad. Top 3, David Bell to Erstad. 5 of the first 8 batters fly out to Erstad. Jason Michaels finishing the 8th. Bottom 4, no score, man on 2 outs. Brad Fulmer, sinking liner. Michaels lives on Glove Street. Scoreless after 4. Top 6, still no score. 2 on 2 outs. Jim Tomei singling to center. Jared Washburn hitting the deck. Michaels, who had doubled, scored. The Phillies are up 1-0. Bottom 7, 1 on 1 out. Scott Spezio singling through the right side. Fulmer is trying to go to first, to third. Abreu with the throw. Fulmer slides past the bag. Tagged out by Bell. Vincenti Padilla looking for just his 2nd win in his last 9 starts, and looking at Fulmer limping away. Top 8, Jimmy Rollins. Oh, that's his definition of the Big Bang Theory. 3rd of the year, it's 2-0 Phillies. Later in the inning, Tomei. 4 for 19 with 8 Ks against Washburn career. Let's make him 5 for 20. His 15th on the season, first against the lefty this year, and it's 3-0 Phillies. Bottom 9, still 3-0. Jose Mesa can tie Steve Pedrosan's club record for saves. Polanco and Tomei save him there. Both Anaheim teams lose 3-0 on Monday. Anaheim fans, they're bumming.
And Tim Hudson. Braves playing the first of 3 in Oakland. Everybody wanting to watch this one, and it's the AL's best pitching staff against the NL's best hitting team. And as Casey Stengel said, good pitching will always stop good hitting, and vice versa. What about defense, Casey? Well, top 4, 2-0 A's, and here's Eric Chavez. Eric Chavez just getting warmed up with this one. Barehanded throw to Rob Andrew Jones. 3-2 Oakland in the 7th. Jermaine Dye out there, and he will rob Vinny Castilla. We'll hear more from Jermaine Dye later in this highlight as well. Top 9, Robert Fick. Fair or foul off Keith Folt? Fair ball tied at 3. Tim Hudson not happy after he allowed just 2 runs on 6 hits and 8. Top 10, Rafael Furcal into foul ground. And look at Eric Chavez go get it. Unbelievable in front of the dugout. One more look at the sliding grab. It's a top 10 nominee. There's Chavez, avoids injury, avoids the dugout. One more look at live speed, and watch how far Chavez has to run just to get to this ball with all that foul territory out there in Oakland. Great play. Bottom 12, it's former Brave Jermaine Dye. We told you we'd hear from him later. Walking off Young Bong. Dye's 2nd career walk-off home run. Both have come in extra innings. Dye's 2nd home run of the year makes a winner of the A's, 4-3 and 12.
Seattle home after an 11-1 road trip, hosting Montreal, a team on a 16-game road run. And let's take a look at interleague commutes. You know, when the Mets and the Yankees play, it's like 10 miles, and the Cubs and White Sox, it's less than 9. Expos played in San Juan on Sunday, 3,700 miles plus to Seattle, but think of all the first-class upgrades. Bottom 1, no score, Ichiro facing Javier Vasquez.
And that's into the gap.
Ichiro is now 16 for 35 in his last 7 games. That's 440-something. He went 2 for 5. He would score on a Carlos Guillen ground out after the triple. M's on quite a run, 18-4 in their last 22. Gil Mesh on quite a run, 8-2 this season, matching his career high for wins. But in the top of the 3rd, Orlando Cabrera with 1 on. He homers his 9th. Cabrera had only 7 last season in 153 games. Endy Chavez against Shigetashi Hasegawa gives the Expos a 4-3 lead, scoring Michael Barrett with that single. Chavez went 3 for 5 with 4 RBI. Here's where he gets 3 more of them. Homers to right, 3rd of the season. Expos win at 7-3. Montreal's won 5 straight after a 5-game losing streak.
Angels in Anaheim, top 1st. John Lackey facing Bobby Abreu. Abreu 1 for 4. Goes down swinging to end the inning. Top 2, Jimmy Rollins goes down swinging. 1-1 in the 4th. David Bell can't hold up. EKs. More runners left on base by the Phillies against Lackey, who gave up 1 run on 5 hits and 6 1/3. Top 7, Rollins with 2 men on. Pops up a bunt, and Larry Bowa loves that kind of stuff. Top 8, 1st and 2nd. Philly still down 1. Mike Lieberthal pops up to Troy Gloss for the 2nd out of the 8th. And, oh, Larry's just having kittens over there. Next up, Pat Burrell. The Angels win 2-1. Burrow baffled. Phillies leave 8 on base in the 2-1 loss.
New York at Texas. Remember how the Mets snubbed Alex Rodriguez when he went new team and big money shopping after the 2000 season? Well, take a look at how A-Rod's numbers compare to those of all the Mets shortstops since then. A-Rod went 1 for 5 Tuesday. And if the Mets had signed Rodriguez, we would not be looking at Jose Reyes making his major league debut at shortstop. Turns 20 Wednesday. Gets his birthday wish. His first big league at bat turns into his first big league base hit. Comes off former Met John Thompson. Give him the baseball. Rangers up 5-3 in the 4th when Hank Blaylock proves he's cocked, locked, and ready to rock. Steve Traxel gave up 2 big flies Tuesday after giving up 4 in his last start. Bottom 7, Rafael Palmeiro adds to his collection. Career shot number 504 ties him with Eddie Murray for 18th on the all-time list. 1 behind Sammy Sosa. Rangers end a 9-game losing streak with the 9-7 win.
Acevedo given his outright release Tuesday, sealing his Yankees legacy as the guy who, with 1 pitch, cost Clemens number 300 at Wrigley. There's more. Jose Contreras goes on the 15-day DL with a right shoulder strain. That means Jeff Weaver starts Wednesday, fueling that George Steinbrenner-Joe Torre debate. Torre reiterated Tuesday, "I want Jeff to be a starter." The New York Post reports the Yankees are eyeing Texas's Ugi Urbina, and one source says about the boss, quote, "He is in a tizzy, and he is getting more involved." Yankees back in the Bronx to open a 3-game series with Houston. Bottom 5, Derek Jeter handcuffs Jeff Kent, who can't turn 2, and the Yankees are still alive in the inning for Jason Giambi. To right center, they wave Alfonso Soriano, and it's 1-0 New York as Wade Miller is tagged for 5 runs on 7 hits in 7. Next up, Jorge Posada. 2-run shot, Posada's 15th. The Yankees have homered in 12 straight games, and they lead 3-0. It was 3-2 in the 6th, then Mike Mussina in a bases-loaded jam. Richard Hidalgo up for the Astros. To 3rd, Robin Ventura turns 2. Mussina called that the biggest pitch of the day. He went 7, allowed 2 runs on 8 hits. Bottom 6, Raul Mondesi. To 3rd, Morgan Ensberg tries to tag Hideki Matsui, throws to 1st for the out, play at the plate. Not in time. Matsui scores 4-2 Yankees. Jimmy Williams with 1M, not happy. Even Matsui said, "I actually thought I was out." Ensberg, though, does not appear to tag Matsui. Top 8, Chris Hammond. A 70-mile-an-hour change to Lance Berkman. Hammond's got what they call that Bugs Bunny changeup. 59 on the clock for strike 2 and 68 to get Berkman, and then the 8th. Rivera closed for a 6th save. The Yankees win 5-3. They snap the Astros 7-game winning streak. Cardinals hooking up 1st to 3 at Fenway. Bottom 2, Johnny Damon off Woody Williams' glove. Edgar Renteria. Take another look. Renteria, the no-look bare hand. It's a top 10 nominee. It's a lock for the top 10. Perfect flip to 2nd. Top 5, 2-1 Boston, Miguel Cairo. To 2nd, Todd Walker. This one not quite as effective. The single for Cairo. They give an error to Walker. Next batter, it's J.D. Drew. J.D. off B.K. Kim. 3-run shot, Drew's 7th, and it's 4-2 St. Louis as Kim allowed 4 runs on 6 hits in 5. Top 7, Albert Pujols. Oh, that Boston bullpen is a disaster. Off Rudy Cianez, 2-run shot, number 17 for Pujols. It's 6-2 Cardinals. Still in the 7th, Jim Edmonds now. To left, and Manny Ramirez is out there. Hold your breath. Oh. I'm speechless. A 2-base error. Edmonds would go on to score. Red Sox come back, though. Bottom 8, Jason Varitek. Off Kiko Calero. Game-tying 2-run homer, number 9 for Varitek, and it's 7-7. Top 9 now. Edmonds on 2nd, Scott Rowland. Brandon Lyon can't shut the door. Edmonds scores. Cal Eldred closed for his 8 save and 10 chances, and the Cardinals win the 1st of 3 at Fenway, 9-7.
Cubs-Orioles team, this being the first ever matchup between these two. Jim Palmer is going to get the starting nod. Ryan Sandberg graduated from Spokane's North Central High, so he's automatically in. Mr. Cub anchors first, and Gabby catches. Entering Tuesday's game, Sosa had gone 61 at-bats since his last home run, but he does have a .407 on-base percentage this season. Pat Henkin in the 2nd, doubles off the wall. You know, since getting hit in the helmet by that pitch on April 20th, Sammy has 1 home run and 40 Ks in 102 at-bats. Sosa will score later in the frame when Eric Karros casts his line down left field. Cubs are going to win this game 4-0, but not before several pieces of cork were thrown on the field and a fan ran onto the field tossing cork before bowing down before Sammy. That arrow showed you a police officer on the field. It was a mess, but Sammy knows this is the lot he casts with that mistake of a bat.
Something that you got to deal with that. The long nobody never, touched me. I don't really worry about those guys.
I guess he's praising Sammy, I guess. I just hoping he didn't destroy himself or something. I didn't know what he's up to, because usually they run around. Very rarely do they just stand there. So, he just kneeled there, and you don't know what he's thinking or what he's about to do. But
Giles has doubled off Corey Lytle, who lost his last 2 starts after going 7-0 in his previous 8, and he's down 2-zip after that Aramis Ramirez shot. Just a second home run hit by the Pirates' cleanup batters this season, both by Ramirez, just his third. Remember, he had 34 2 seasons ago. We go to the bottom of the second, 2 on, first base open for Carlos Delgado. UB Lloyd McClendon make the call on whether or not to pitch to the interleague's king of swing, or you beat Chris Benson. He decides to pitch to Delgado, who becomes the second player in the ML to reach 20 home runs and the first to 70 RBI. This game is tied at 5. Bottom 5, 8-5 Jays. Frank Catalanata, bat .417 in his last 9 games. He's taken Brian Meadows deep for his 6th. Jays win 13-8. Lytle gets his 9th win despite an ERA of .507. Pirates have lost 6 of 7. Cincinnati at Tampa Bay, Jose Guillen. Top 1. The sinking liner to Rocco Baldelli. Oh, can't get enough of your glove. But what about your uniform? His teammates switched jerseys with the one that says Rocco instead of Baldelli on the back. Dude has 25 multi-hit games in the 59 he's played. Why are you messing with his uni? Well, after doubling to the bottom of the first, he had the Baldelli back on. Top 4, Austin Kearns ends a streak of 20 straight games without a home run. Hit 13 in his first 40 games, and that's his first since early May. Next batter, Aaron Boone, bartender. Back-to-back shots of Jack. Boone's 15th, 5th time this season the Reds have hit back-to-back shots. Bottom 4, bases loaded, 1 out. Paul Wilson pitches. Jason LaRue, snap throw to third, and Travis Lee looking for a hole to climb in. Tom Foley, third base coach, does not agree, and he's going to get the thumb. First base coach Billy Hatcher going to take over Foley. Terry Shumpert comes off the bench, coach first. Still tied at 2 in the 6th, and Guillen facing his former team for the first time. A Han Solo, his 11th. It's 3-2 Reds. Bottom 7, 2 on, 2 out. Lee singles to right. Aubrey Huff is going to round third. Is he wearing his PF Flyers? Guillen doing his Roberto Clemente. No! Inning over. Reds go on to win it, 4-2. Milwaukee, Ben Sheets has won his last 2 starts, but look at that. He leads the majors in home runs allowed with 18. Top 1, 2-0 Marlins, and Derek Lee, who was just 1 for 6 career against Sheets, and in a 1 for 16 slide, takes him 415 feet to left center. Marlins up 4. Top 4, Lee, crack, back, track, Jack. Third multi-homer game this season, 8th career, 12-4 Marlins. Old Milwaukee flat at home. Chicago Sox just finished a 13-game road trip. 1917 World Series revisited, and we're going to visit not Fear Factor, but the Bonds Factor. Top of the first, Barry at the plate. Would you rather jump through a hoop of fire or face Barry Bonds, John Garland? Well, John Garland gets him swinging. These two never squared off, and Garland gets the best of him in the first meeting. Next time up, Barry, they walked and intentionally walked him, but what about the third time? Oh, Garland, you should have taken the box seats instead of giving that up. A huge home run, his 16th, 2-0 Giants, 475 feet, 4th longest in the 12-year history of the park, according to the Sox. You should have taken the box seats. Bottom 7, maybe it should be the Olivo factor. He drives it deep to left center, 2-run home run, his 4th of the year, 4-2 Chicago. Maybe it should have been the Jimenez factor. He followed that with a homer, making it 5-2. Bonds up 1 last time. Oh, would you rather face him or face down those hot dogs? Oh, Tommaso Marte, he was thinking about the dog. The 0-1 pitch right over Barry's head, and Barry's going to have to settle for 1 for 3 on Bonds factor. He pops out to second. White Sox win 5-3. They are the big winners. Sox have won 3 straight, 4 of 5.
The traditional blood feud, that is the Padres and the Indians. Bottom 1, they're loaded. Brian Tolbert facing Ben Broussard. Mark Loretta cannot handle it, and everybody's safe. Jody Garrett scores. Indians down 4-2. They love Linebrink. That's Scott Linebrink. In to pitch 2 batters later with the bases loaded. Wild pitch gets by Gary Bennett. Matt Lawton comes in, and we are tied at 4. Maybe they don't love Linebrink that much. Next up, Brandon Phillips in a 3-for-51 slump to left. Gary Matthews Jr. having a moment out there. 2 more runs come in. It's a 6-run Cleveland first. Indians win 8-5. Padres an NL worst 19-46.
Colorado, Minnesota Rocks just 2-12 in their last 14 road games. Preston Wilson, he's been hot. 448 in his last 8 games. Wilson, CJ, and Greg Vaughn all hit first pitch homers. For Wilson, it's 15, 3-0 Rockies, and that's all in support of Jason Jennings, who was just 1-5 on the road this season. Gets Christian Guzman there in the 6th, and Torrey Hunter swinging. Last year's NL Rookie of the Year looked the part. 7 strikeouts. Rockies win 5-0.
Well, you know what happens when the Diamondbacks and Royals get together. They play baseball. Top 3, Gonzo. Off Kyle Snyder's 13th. Gonzalez, 391 career versus Kansas City with 10 home runs. It's 3-0 Arizona. Top 4 now, Chad Moeller. This one to 3rd, and that's where Joe Randa lives. The Joker! A top 10 nominee, throw to 1st for the Gauss. Bottom 6, Casey comes alive. Raul Ibanez. RBI double, it's 3-1. Carlos Beltran, 2-run single, it's tied at 3. Bottom 7, Desi Relaford knocks one in, it's 4-3. Mike Sweeney knocks another one in, it's 5-3. Still in the 7th, Beltran drives 2 in, it's 7-3 Royals. Bob Brenly and the Diamondbacks give up 7 unanswered, and the Royals win 7-3. And Tigers in Detroit meeting for the first time ever. And what's the big difference between these 2 teams? Well, the Dodgers are much better. But on offense, both teams kind of near the bottom in average runs and home runs. And Tuesday, they combined for just 11 hits. 1-1 in the 12th. Alex Cora off Steve Sparks. Sparks gave up a walk, a single, a wild pitch, and then Cora's game winner, all with 2 outs. As the Dodgers win in extra innings, 3-1.